ดีค่ะ and good evening and welcome to Thai PBS World Tonight. I'm Nat Bunap.
I'm Frank Kanchi.
I will begin the program with the latest update related to Prime Minister Anutin Charnvirakul because it has been confirmed that Anutin would not be attending the UN General Assembly in New York.
Yeah, the reason is that because we already know the reason.
Yeah.
That next week we're going to see the policy statement from Prime Minister Anutin Charnvirakul, and this is the concern.
Exactly. So he is actually worried that he might not make it in time for the delivery of the policy statement, which is scheduled for next week. So Prime Minister Anutin Charnvirakul has cancelled his attendance to the UN General Assembly or the UNGA meeting in New York. And Anutin has clarified today that the timing may clash with the government's policy statement to Parliament. And he also mentioned that he would want to consult with the current Foreign Minister Siyasak Phongketkaew as the matter involves both scheduling and questions of authority as well. But then there are debates though as to whether he can really go or not.
Yeah, because of just the legitimacy, right, at this moment. Because before the policy statement, sometimes, of course, we still need that legitimacy from the Parliament. So that's why there's some debate there. But at the beginning, we know that Prime Minister Anutin would go.
Yeah.
Yes, but now that's not the case.
Yeah, it's completely different. But then, the problem is not only about the schedule, but it's whether he is actually allowed to go or not, because he was just appointed as the Prime Minister just earlier this month. And initially, like you just said, Frank, there were reports that he would attend the UN General Assembly before delivering the government's policy statement. But there were debates as to whether he can go or not. And this is because there's a special circumstance, especially with the current conflicts between Thailand and Cambodia.
Yes.
Yeah, but the Thai law actually prohibits a prime minister from making official overseas visits before presenting the government's policy statement to Parliament. So that's what the Thai law says. So if you haven't attended official visits overseas, if they have not delivered a policy statement, but the Council of State, which is the government's top legal advisory body, said that there are some exceptions and it's possible in cases of urgent and important matters. And they said that addressing the Thai-Cambodian border dispute to the international community could actually fall under this exception. So there are two sides of it, but regardless, Anutin has already made his decision not to go because of the timing, the schedule, and he thinks that he may not make it in time for the policy statement if he goes to New York.
Right, but for example, of course, right now we already know that the Foreign Minister Sihasak already attends that meeting, and we will see that, of course, he will definitely present Thailand's stance on the conflicts between Thailand and Cambodia. But now, of course, as what you said, Anutin really wants to tackle no matter economic issues to make stability on the ground in Thailand so that policy statement leading all those cabinet members in Parliament will be very important.
In fact, the UN General Assembly would actually be a good opportunity for Thailand to express their standpoint on the conflicts between Thailand and Cambodia because it's actually a big issue around the world as well, and it has been causing a lot of debate as well. So putting Thailand back on the international stage would be very crucial at this time. But unfortunately, because Anutin has not delivered a policy statement, so he cannot go based on the Thai law.
Yeah, but I will understand, of course, this would be a very good opportunity. Of course, right now it's not Prime Minister Anutin, but a foreign minister there to talk to counterparts with Cambodia or even Malaysia, because the ASEAN chair there to see how to really mitigate the crisis, because we still see some confrontations at borders. Of course, we already have the ceasefire there, but still we still see some confrontations there.
Even though there are ceasefire agreements already, there are still clashes along the borders between Thailand and Cambodia. And Anutin did say that some groups have filed complaints accusing Thailand of violating the international rules. But in reality, it is Thailand that has been more violated, according to Anutin's statement. So if he could go to the UNGA, that would be a good opportunity for Thailand to explain the whole situation and to prove that the accusations against Thailand is not true. But then, unfortunately, it is what it is.
It is what it is. But we understand that the reason behind that Prime Minister Anutin has to stay in Thailand is because one of the issues is quite significant is economy, because right now economy of Thailand, no matter its trajectory or prediction, are pretty dire at this moment. So Prime Minister Anutin needs to use all policies to boost trade and the economy. And now, of course, Prime Minister Anutin also vows to boost incomes, upgrade skills for Thailand's local talents there, Net. So we understand that, as what we always talk about since cabinet list shown, so many business leaders there, many business background cabinet and minister to join Thailand's team for Anutin. But there are so many issues and facade that Anutin has to fix. No matter it's to develop people's skills, we see the supply chains, no matter high-tech semiconductors, they move to Thailand, but they might face difficulties to meet, to see the requirements and see those talents on the ground. The talents pool are not enough for them. So Prime Minister Anutin said that, okay, we have the first key policy through reskilling and upskilling programs to ensure Thai people gain more modern skills. And another part is, of course, I think we always talk about it, Nat, aging society. And right now it's already aged society for Thailand. And we might face the difficulty as Japan has now, super aged society. So right now, of course, one goal is to extend the life expectancy of patients beyond 75 years to reduce the burden of care and how the government system can help people on the ground. Another part we always talk about, Ned, I talk to my friends in Thailand, if they work in government organizations, sometimes the starting salary is just 15K, below
that
20K.
Is really low. 15K, that is considered really low for, especially considering the expenses that we have to deal with day by day, like cost of living, traveling costs. How can you spend all of that with only 15K?
And this is the reality on the ground. I'm not making this up because this is the reality. But Anutin wants to raise people's incomes by promoting both public and private sector investment to generate employment, higher salary for people, increase tax revenue. And of course, we talk about Kuna Khung co-payment system that can really help people in short term. But we still see some criticism from some analysts because they say that actually we have to give long-term policies. Thai economy extremely fragile right now, low growth, deficits, low investor confidence. Wow, we talk a lot of challenges. And one point they talk about, they want Anutin government as a problem solver rather than troublemaker. So
that is a strong statement. Problem solver instead of becoming a troublemaker. But then many of the analysts have already expected that the priority of this government is to dissolve parliament within 4 months and redraft the constitution. So the economic policies may be focused only on short-term measures rather than long-term measures, as we would have hoped in any other government.
I think you are 100% right, because according to political analysts, if we're talking about political economy term, that this is only 4 months for them.
Yeah.
And political analysts, academic experts say that, Of course, 4 months, they need to get votes, as many as votes as
Yeah.
possible for the next election. So as what you said, short-term stimulus is possible, but what about the long term? After 4 months, 6 month period, 1 year period, what's their vision? They want to see that.
Exactly. But even though the Anutin's government actually prioritized improving the economy, but then most of them are short-term stimulus measures.
Yeah.
But we do see some hope though with the progress on the 50-50 co-payment scheme and
Yeah.
also those other policies to improve the livelihoods, even though it's just short term, but it at least gives people hope because the financial burden is
Yes.
real.
Right, but of course, you talk to so many economists,
Yes.
and I talk to business leaders on the ground. They want to see long-term driver,
Yeah.
FTA, free trade agreement with EU, with EFTA. Could that really work? SMEs, liquidity, financial support. Could we get it from commercial banks or even government policy? They're very effective one, but we haven't seen that yet.
Exactly. We still have to wait for the policy statement that will be delivered to Parliament in a few days.
Right.
So just a few days away, we will find out what Anutin has to deliver to the Parliament and to the country.
Very fast.
Very fast. And now let's talk about Typhoon Ragasa, which is deemed to be the world's most powerful tropical typhoon for this year. And many of the international flights have been canceled because of the weather conditions, including Thai Airways, which has announced that they have canceled all of its flights to and from Hong Kong on Tuesday and Wednesday due to the super typhoon. And the Civil Aviation Authority of Thailand is advising people who plan to fly on domestic or international airlines to monitor the status of their flights, which may be changed abruptly due to the super typhoon. The Meteorological Department reports that super typhoon Ragasa was located over the northern part of Luzon Island in the Philippines and is expected to arrive in the South China Sea on Monday night. And the weather system, packed with wind speeds measured at 205 kilometers per hour at its center, is moving westward at a speed of 20 kilometers per hour. It is expected to move close to Hong Kong through the southern coast of China and Hainan Island. And the typhoon is expected to weaken into a tropical storm before hitting northern Vietnam and to weaken further as it clashes with a cold front from China. And of course, Thailand may be affected as well from tomorrow until Friday, because it is expected that there will be very heavy rain for the most of Thailand, including Bangkok. But the good news is for those living in the southern region of Thailand, you might not be so affected.
Nesh,
But what about us?
Yes, have you experienced any typhoon hitting Thailand before? Because of course I'm from Taiwan, so it's very, very frequent for us to meet those typhoon season. So I think for people, of course, traveling to Hong Kong, traveling to Taiwan from Bangkok, from Thailand, anywhere, has to be very alert about the flight changes. Because last time, of course, I took flight back to Taiwan, but one typhoon hit the island. So eventually my flight diverted to Hong Kong. So I have to stay there for one night.
Well,
that's the reality.
Yeah, that's the reality because whenever there's a super typhoon, then flights get canceled or postponed to a different timing. And everyone is definitely affected. And we couldn't go, of course, we couldn't go anywhere. We have to stay at home or at the office. And it's definitely hectic.
And even heavy rain in Thailand too, it causes flooding.
Yes, and many people have been saying that Thailand is prone to flooding, especially in Bangkok.
And right now typhoon is coming, more heavy rain and maybe strong wind too to the city. So people have to be very careful.
Well, we're speaking of the typhoon. About a few years ago, I was in Japan when the typhoon Hagibis struck Tokyo,
Ah,
and
okay.
it was
I remember
pretty
that time.
scary, and we could not go anywhere. We had to stay in the hotel for like a whole day, and even like the room service took almost like an hour because
Yeah.
everyone was staying at the hotel. And since we could not go anywhere, we were stuck inside, and we had to monitor like news reports from NHK,
Yeah.
and you could just feel that everyone was like in the hotel, and then we're just like we're looking through the window,
Yeah.
like we're really scared of the storm, the typhoon.
Yeah.
But then we do get cell broadcast systems there, but everything was in Japanese.
Yeah, but so the stormy season right now
Yeah.
is the best way. Just stay indoors. Don't go anywhere.
Of course, we have no choice apart from staying indoors, but then it might be a good reminder for the Thai government to consider revamping the alert systems. Now that we have these cell broadcast systems, but how can it be improved so that everyone in Thailand will actually receive the alerts whenever there's a typhoon or earthquakes or any possible natural disasters?
Yes, that's the key though, to really revise the system to the utmost serious case on the ground.
Exactly, and it depends on how the government will actually work on that.
Yeah.
All right, and that's all for this edition of Thai PBS World Tonight. Join us every Monday and Tuesday at 6 p.m. on Thai PBS World's Facebook and YouTube Live. You can also follow us on social media and our website, thaipbsworld.com, for all the latest stories and analyses about Thailand. Thanks for watching. I will see you next week. สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ